girl T, and I want to shout out Devin off of Facebook. He sent me this crazy story, and yes, once again, it's coming out of wretched-ass Florida. So if you guys have not heard, there is a 26-year-old lady named Romel Lee, and basically she was 6 weeks pregnant by her boyfriend, John Weldon. His father is a fertility doctor, so she went to go see his father and got, checked out, make sure everything was okay. A day or so later, he came up to her and said that basically his father told him to tell her that she had a bacterial infection and that he had prescribed her some antibiotics and she needed to take them. So she ended up taking the pills, and a few hours later, she started having really bad cramps, started bleeding, and she ended up having a miscarriage. So I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip, and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Andrew Weldon was looking at a bright future. His father is Tampa physician Dr. Stephen Weldon, but his last posting on Facebook has an ominous tone, simply saying, "Please pray for me." The Facebook page has now been taken down. John Weldon is under arrest, charged with killing his girlfriend's unborn child. In court documents filed by his girlfriend, Remy Lee, to apply for a restraining order, Lee says she had a romantic relationship, an intimate relationship with Weldon, from July of last year through March of this year. Lee says they were expecting a baby together and went to his father for an ultrasound. After the visit, she says her boyfriend gave her a prescription saying it was from his father. The prescription was labeled as an antibiotic. He told her she had an infection. Weldon is now charged under the Federal Protection of Unborn Children Act. And attorney Kevin Hazlett, who is not involved in the case, says this case may have far-reaching implications.
Well, you got to remember that this is a federal case now, so this affects every state.
Weldon is facing life in federal prison if convicted, but it may be an emotionally charged case involving abortion rights and the rights of a mother and those of a father.
If she would have done it on her own, if she would have had second thoughts and she takes the pill, there's no criminal charges, no civil crime. He does it, he looks at life in prison. You go from no crime to life in prison for the exact same act, and that's where people have problems.
Okay, y'all just saw this ratchet story. First of all, Rick Ross really got these dudes out here gassed up. In the words of Rick Ross, I put a Molly in her champagne and she ain't even know it. This fool done gave his girl a Plan B pill and she ain't even know it. Okay? Where they do this at? Only in Florida. And isn't it ironic that Rick Ross is from Florida too? But anyways, I digress. So this story is causing a lot of controversy. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are saying, you know what, it's not right. Why when a woman gets pregnant, it's all on her? Well, how come the man can't have a say? And for a long time, I never understood that. I never understood where guys were coming with that. Even in the words of Tupac, since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. I haven't quoted Pac in a while, so I'm glad I was able to use his quote in this video. So anyways, a lot of guys feel like, it's not right because when a girl becomes pregnant, she has multiple choices. She can either continue on with the pregnancy and raise her child with him, or she can raise the child without him and get child support, or she can have an abortion and end the pregnancy, or she can give the child up for adoption. But as a father, you have very little say, which is really unfortunate. And I can understand how guys get upset because let's say you have two young people in a situation, the guy's trying to go to college, he's trying to better his life, and she is too, and she winds up pregnant. If he tells her to have an abortion, then she gets upset and he's considered insensitive. It's almost like everything is left on the woman and the guy has no say. Guys are real upset. They feel like they have no say in the process, when a girl gets pregnant. And, by the rules of the law, it is on the woman. It's the woman's final decision. I don't really think it's fair necessarily because a lot of times you have a lot of women who get pregnant purposely just for a check or who get pregnant with ulterior motives even if the man says that he did not want a child. And I think this was what happened in this situation. I think in this situation he didn't want a child and he told her that he didn't want a child. But like so many women, she went ahead and got pregnant anyways thinking that this child is going to bring them closer together or it's going to force him to step up. Having a baby with somebody is not going to force them to do anything. You're not doing anything but having a baby with that person. You can't force that person to love that baby, nor can you force that person to be with you. So many women get caught up in that where they think they can have a baby and that's going to somehow save the relationship, and that never happens. But with that being said, I think he should be charged for putting something in her food. I don't think it's okay to poison anyone. I think he should definitely be charged with that because that pill could have killed her. That, she could have had an allergic reaction from that pill. So he had no right to put anything in her drink or in her food. But as far as charging him for murder, I think that's a reach. Giving him life in prison, I do think that that's a reach because this is the same country where if you go to any inner city, there's a damn Planned Parenthood on every other block. where they're encouraging people all the time to get abortions. You have abortion clinics who are even practicing illegal abortions and aborting babies where the mother is up to 6 months pregnant. And me personally, I think if a woman is 6 months pregnant, you're going to go get an abortion, she should be jailed. Because at 6 months pregnant, that baby is a fully developed baby. I've known somebody who went into labor at 6 months and their child survived. So to kill a baby while you're 6 months pregnant, to me, that's murder. So I just feel like, it's a really slippery slope. But I think if she would have got the abortion at 6 weeks, it would be okay. But since he did the abortion, it's not okay. But I think the reason why it's not okay is the way he went about it. Put something into her food, and unbeknownst to her, she had that miscarriage. But I will say this, I think as adults, we have to take responsibility for our actions. If you are sleeping with somebody, you do not feel that they are father material or mother material, you should not be sleeping with them. Point blank. Because as we all know, condoms are not 100%, birth control is not 100%. So if you can't see yourself raising a family with this person, if you don't see that that person is a good father, a good mom, has a good mentality, is about something, you shouldn't be messing with them. And I think that's where he messed up. If he didn't feel like she was a good person to be the mother of his child, he should have took all precautions to not get her pregnant. Because it's a two-way street. So I think this whole situation is definitely crazy. Go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about it. Do you guys feel like men should be allowed to have more say when a woman gets pregnant? Should a man be allowed to tell a woman, hey, I don't want you to have that baby, go and get an abortion? Or do you think that it should strictly be the woman's decision on what she chooses to do with her body? So all right, leave a comment. Deuces.